Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to get into something really foundational to our modern world, something you probably touch every day, but maybe, well, never really think about.
That's right.
We're talking about black master batches. Now, it doesn't sound glamorous, I know.
Not exactly a household name.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But they are just about everywhere. Your car, pipes, packaging, all sorts of things. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Our mission today is to really pull back the curtain on this vital kind of invisible material. We'll look at the market, its impact, where it's going. We've got some really interesting market analysis to guide us.
And, understanding these invisible bits is, I think, really key. It gives you a much clearer picture of how whole industries work, our consumption habits, even what drives the products we actually end up using. It's a layer most folks just don't see.
Absolutely. So let's start right at the beginning, because honestly, before digging into this, my idea was pretty vague too. What is a black master batch, really?
All right, so at its core, think of it as a super concentrated mix. It's mainly carbon black, blended together with specific polymers and some, necessary additives.
A concentrated mix, got it.
Exactly. And its job is basically to deliver certain properties very efficiently into plastics when they're being made. Makes them work for all kinds of different jobs.
And what properties are we talking about? What makes this blend so critical for plastics?
Well, it really does three main things, and they're all pretty vital. First, obviously, it gives that deep, consistent black color we see so often.
Right, the blackness.
Second, and this is super important, it has really strong UV resistance. That stops plastics from breaking down when they're out in the sun. Think about like a car bumper or garden furniture.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And third, it actually boosts the mechanical properties of the plastic itself, makes it stronger, tougher, sometimes more resistant to heat. Without that boost, a lot of plastic stuff just wouldn't last or do its job properly.
Okay, that clicks. Suddenly it makes way more sense why it's so essential. If you need plastic to be tough and last outdoors. Wow. So where are we seeing this most? Which industries really depend on it?
Oh, they're everywhere once you start looking. Automotive's a huge one. Inside cars, dashboards, door panels, you name it.
All that black plastic trim.
Exactly. And outside too, bumpers, trim, and lots of parts under the hood that have to handle heat and, well, just tough conditions.
Okay.
Then there's packaging, making films and containers that need to be strong, look good, and protect what's inside.
Right, like sturdy black containers.
Yep. Construction uses tons of it too. Think pipes, roofing materials, insulation, things that need to last for decades outside.
Makes sense. Durability again.
And even agriculture, for those UV-resistant films they use in greenhouses or for covering silage and irrigation pipes too. It really is in so many places.
That's genuinely fascinating. Something so specific yet so widespread. And I guess this wide use means the market is doing pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite impressive, actually. The estimates put the market at around USD 2.65 billion for 2024.
2.65 billion. Okay.
Yeah. And what's fascinating here is the projection. It's expected to grow to about USD 3.92 billion by 2032. That's a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of 5.0%.
5% a year.
Mm-hmm.
For black plastic concentrate, that's solid growth.
It really is. It shows just how fundamental it is, especially with the global push towards lighter materials, more durable goods. It's like the silent engine, as you said, just driving a lot of manufacturing forward.
A silent engine. I like that. So 5% CAGR.
Yeah.
What's really pushing that growth? What are the big trends making this market expand?
Well, a major driver is definitely the push for lightweight materials, especially in automotive.
Right, for fuel efficiency.
Exactly. Black master batches help make plastic parts strong and durable enough to replace heavier metal ones, but also add that UV and heat resistance needed. It helps cars become lighter, use less fuel, meet those tougher emissions rules.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What else?
Packaging is another huge one. Demand for high-quality packaging that protects products, but also, looks good on the shelf. Black master batches deliver both.
Aesthetics matter too.
They do. And like we touched on, agriculture is using more and more UV-resistant plastics for films and pipes, boosting efficiency and longevity there.
Okay, so performance is key. But you mentioned environmental awareness earlier as a growth driver too.
Yeah.
How is sustainability playing into this right now? Is that a big trend?
It's becoming a massive trend, yes. You're seeing manufacturers really responding now. They're pushed by regulations, sure, but also by consumers demanding greener options.
So what are they doing?
They're actively working to bring in more recycled materials, bio-based polymers into their black master batch formulas, trying to cut down that environmental footprint.
Interesting.
And another thing is these additive enhanced versions, master batches that do more than just color and UV protect. They might add flame retardancy or antimicrobial properties.
Ah, so making them multifunctional.
Precisely. Opens up new uses, more specialized applications. It's part of that bigger materials science evolution.
Very clever. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. The global picture. Where is this market the strongest geographically? Who's using the most black Masterbatch?
Right. The regional breakdown is quite telling. Asia Pacific is the big leader right now, holding about 45% of the market share in 2024.
Wow, almost half.
Yeah. Then comes North America, around 25%, and Europe with roughly 20%.
So why Asia Pacific? What's driving that dominance?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's largely down to the massive automotive and packaging sectors in places like China, India, Japan.
Huge manufacturing hubs.
Exactly. Plus rapid industrialization generally, a growing middle class buying more goods. And specifically in China, their huge push into electric vehicles is a major factor. EVs use a lot of these lightweight, durable plastic components.
The EV boom. Okay, North America and Europe.
North America has its very established auto industry, a real focus on advanced polymer tech, and strong demand from construction as well. Europe, well, it's driven a lot by that emphasis on sustainability and innovation.
The regulations you mentioned.
Right. Countries like Germany, France, Italy are big on adopting eco-friendly, recyclable master batches to meet EU rules, but they also have very strong demand from their own high-end automotive industries.
So different regions, slightly different drivers, but all pointing towards growth. It sounds like a busy market.
Yeah.
How competitive is it? Who are the main companies involved?
Oh, it's definitely competitive. You have a few major players with significant clout. Leon Delbecel is the biggest, estimated around 15% market share back in 2023.
It's 15% value.
Then you've got Cabot Corporation, maybe around 10%, and Aving Corporation close behind at about 8%.
And what are they doing to stay ahead?
They're investing heavily. Lots of R&D to improve their products, make them more sustainable, add new functions. And you see plenty of strategic moves, mergers, acquisitions, partnerships to broaden their offerings and reach globally.
Standard playbook for big players.
Pretty much. And we're also expecting new companies to jump in, probably focusing hard on those sustainable, eco-friendly niches to try and grab a piece of the action.
Makes sense. Now, thinking about competition, how does black Masterbatch compare to other colors? Why is black so dominant, holding such a big chunk of the market?
That's a really good question. Black often wins out because, well, it generally offers superior UV resistance compared to many other colors. It's also very thermally stable.
Better performance?
Better performance in key areas, yes. And the carbon black itself helps enhance durability. Plus, from a manufacturing perspective, getting a really consistent, deep black color dispersed evenly throughout the plastic, it's something black master batches do exceptionally well compared to trying to mix in raw carbon black or other pigments.
More reliable quality control.
Exactly. You get that uniform look and performance, which is crucial for things like cars or high-end packaging. And the numbers show it. In 2024, black master batches account for about 35% of the entire color master batch market.
35%, that's huge. What are the others?
White master batches are next, around 30%, and then all the other colors combined make up the remaining 25%.
So black is clearly the leader.
It is, and projections suggest its share might even edge up slightly, maybe to 37% by 2025, pushed by that ongoing demand in auto and packaging especially.
Wow. Okay, 35% lead, growing market. But there has to be a catch, right? Especially with plastics.
Yeah.
What about the environmental side? What are the big challenges there?
This raises an important question, and yeah, it's probably the biggest hurdle the industry faces. The production itself has an impact.
How so?
Well, you're using petrochemical-based polymers, for starters, and then there's the carbon black itself. It's typically made from the incomplete combustion of fossil fuels.
Right, so carbon emissions.
Significant carbon emissions during production, yes. That adds to the overall environmental load. But it doesn't stop there. Disposal is also tricky. The very thing that makes it black, the carbon black, makes the plastic opaque. Really opaque.
Yeah.
And that messes with the optical sorting systems used in most recycling plants.
Ah, the scanners can't see what type of plastic it is.
Exactly. They often can't identify it properly, so a lot of black plastic just gets sorted out as waste and ends up in landfill, even if the plastic type itself could have been recycled.
Ouch. That's a major problem.
It is. And it's why there's so much pressure now from governments, from consumers pushing manufacturers hard towards more sustainable options, using recycled content, bio-based materials. Even if it costs a bit more initially, it's becoming a necessity.
A necessary pivot, as you said. It sounds tough, but also like a catalyst for change. So looking forward, what are the exciting developments? How is the industry rising to meet these challenges and innovate?
The focus is absolutely shifting. It's all about eco-friendly solutions now, upping the recycled content while still pushing for better performance. We're seeing a real evolution away from just the traditional stuff.
Like what specifically?
Well, integrating more advanced additives, like we mentioned, better UV blockers, better flame retardants, adding antimicrobial functions, making the Masterbatch do more work.
Smarter materials.
Smarter materials. And on the sustainability front, companies are making real progress. Cabot Corporation, for instance, launched 3 new circular black master batches late last year called Replace Black.
Replace blacker.
And they incorporate up to 60% recycled content, which is a really significant step.
60%, that is a big leap. What else is happening on the innovation side?
There's a lot happening with the manufacturing tech itself, finding ways to get even better dispersion of the carbon black, more consistent color, higher thermal stability.
Pushing the performance envelope.
Exactly, which allows them to be used in even tougher applications. High-spec car parts, fancy premium packaging, really durable agricultural films. We're also seeing nanotechnology starting to play a role.
Nanotech.
Using nanoparticles to tweak properties, improve performance even further for really specialized uses. Think electronics, maybe advanced components in cars or aerospace. Tiny changes making a big difference.
Fascinating.
And looking even further out, people are talking about smart master batches, which, hints at materials that might even be able to sense or react to their environment somehow. Still early days, but very exciting potential.
Wow. Okay. So what does this all mean? We've gone from what on earth is black Masterbatch to seeing it's, well, pretty much everywhere. It's this huge growing market facing real environmental pressures, but also innovating like crazy. This supposedly niche, hidden stuff is actually critical to so much of our world.
It really is. The whole market is incredibly dynamic. You've got technology pushing it forward, but also this massive pull from the demand for sustainable yet high-performing material. It's constantly adapting, constantly innovating, especially now with the green pressures. It's a quiet revolution happening right under our noses.
A quiet revolution. So as you go about your day, maybe noticing all that black plastic differently now, here's something to think about. We talked about cars, packaging, construction, but what about other industries? As fields like, say, renewable energy or space tech, or even advanced medical devices demand ever higher performance and sustainability, how might that drive the next wave of innovation for these hidden ingredients like black master batches? What kind of products might that lead to that we haven't even conceived of yet?